Hey guys, welcome to Ollie Board. I'm Saurav, your science faculty, and welcoming everyone in Ollie Board. And in this video, we are going to discuss very important chapter of science, that is plants. Okay, and in this session, we are going to discuss about the information related to plants, like nutrition in plants, transportation of food, water, and minerals in plants, respiration in plants. So all these things are the part of your syllabus, and this is very important. So let's start our class. Take your pen and paper and make your notes so that you can revise these things at the time of your examination. Okay, so let's start our class, and please try to understand each and everything. Although everything is informative, there is no any big concepts there. Everything is informative. Okay, and so I have provided all the information in typed form also. Okay, so in the screen you can note down from the screen also. Okay, so let's start our class and enjoy the class. So complete information related to plants, complete information related to plants. And as I said, we will discuss about what? We will discuss about nutrition, respiration, and transportation in plants. Okay. So let's start our class, and first we will discuss about nutrition in plants. First we will discuss about nutrition in plants. So first of all, why this nutrition is essential for us? Obviously, plants and animals and human beings are living organisms, and for to survive we require nutrients, we require nutrition, obviously. So basically from nutrition we get nutrients. What we get from nutrition? Our food, such as whatever you are eating, these are your nutrition, and from that nutrition you get your nutrients. Okay, and which are very essential for you to survive. Okay, so nutrients are the components found in our food, such as carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals, and fats, etc. These components are necessary for living organisms to survive. Okay, and plants are self dependent. Okay, plants produces their own food, while animals and human beings do not produce their own food, obviously. But some plants are also there which are not self sufficient. Okay, like pitcher plants. Okay, like pitcher plants, they actually what they do, they trap insects, and so use that insects as their food materials. Okay, so there are still few kind of plants are there which are not self sufficient. Okay, now we will talk about modes of nutrition. Modes of nutrition means what are your ways to fulfill your requirements. So basically what is modes of nutrition? That the process of obtaining food and utilizing it to grow, stay healthy, and repair any damaged part is known as nutrition. Plants produce their food by taking raw materials from their surroundings, such as minerals and waters from their root, carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Okay, water and sunlight from sun, and obviously water and minerals with the help of roots. Okay, and so they produces their food materials. And what are their raw materials? Minerals, CO2, that is carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight. Now there are two modes of nutrition. Basically there are two modes of nutrition. First one is autotrophic modes of nutrition and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. What is autotrophic? Autotrophic plant exhibit autotrophic nutrition and are called the primary producers. Plants synthesize their own food by using light, carbon dioxide, and water. So in simple way you can say plant which can synthesize their food by itself by using sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water. Such kind of plants are known as autotrophic. Now what are heterotrophic? Obviously, uh, who depend on plants for their food or some another food materials, okay, to fulfill their requirements. Like both animals and human beings are called heterotrophs, as they depends on plants for their food. There are some type of plants which can't synthesize their food by themselves also, and such kind of plants are known as heterotrophic plants. Okay, so there are two modes of nutrition. Auto means itself. Autotrophic, you can remember, autotrophic means who can prepare their food by themselves. And heterotrophic means you let's say you are dependent on some external factor to fulfill your requirement of nutrition, basically. And that kind of plant or animal or human being are known as heterotrophic or heterotrophs. Okay. Now, autotrophic nutrition in plants. Basically, so autotrophic nutrition means plants synthesize their food by themselves. So by what process? By the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so we will discuss about photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis. Okay, so the chloroplast is the site of photosynthesis. Chloroplast is the site of photosynthesis. Chloroplast, it is a green pigment. It is a green pigment present and it is present in leaves of the plant. It is present in leaves of the plant. It is a green pigment. Food production primarily is carried out in leaves. Water and minerals from the soil are absorbed by roots, as I said, and transported to the leaves through vessels. Carbon dioxide reaches leaves through stomata. Okay, and the stomata are also present in the leaves, which are small pores on leaves surrounded by guard cells. Surrounded by guard cells. Now, what are chlorophyll? What are chlorophyll? So, chlorophyll is a green pigment present in the leaves, which helps the leaf capture energy from sunlight to prepare their food. Okay, and this production of food, which takes place in presence of sunlight, is known as photosynthesis. Okay, so what is the definition of photosynthesis? That production of food which takes place in the presence of sunlight is known as a photosynthesis by using chlorophyll. By using chlorophyll. Okay, and so basically in chlorophyll, it is a green pigment present in the leaves. Okay, and during photosynthesis, water and carbon dioxide are used in the presence of sunlight to produce carbohydrate and oxygen. Okay, so what is the photosynthesis process? Reaction basically, that water and carbon dioxide, that is water H2O and carbon dioxide are used in the presence of what? In the presence of sunlight, and they produce carbohydrates, which means glucose or fructose, that is sugars. Okay, carbohydrates plus oxygen, and plant releases this oxygen to the atmosphere, which we breathe basically. Okay, and this process is known as photosynthesis process. Now, oxygen, one of the main component of life on earth, is released by plants during photosynthesis. Obviously, this is the reaction of photosynthesis. Water, which the plant has absorbed with the help of their roots, and carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide basically uh, reaches the leaves with the help of stomata. With the help of stomata. Okay, and then in the presence of sunlight, the reaction will take place, and H2O and carbon dioxide will combine, and they will form what? They will form carbohydrate, that is sugar substances like glucose and fructose, and oxygen gas, and now plant liberates this oxygen in atmosphere, and this is the oxygen which we breathe, or the animals or human beings breathe. Clear? So basically, photosynthesis is the process occur in those plants which are autotrophs. Which are autotrophs. Clear? Photosynthesis is the process to prepare their food materials. Now, heterotrophic nutrition in plants. Now, we will talk about heterotrophic nutrition in plants. So, some plants do not contain chlorophyll. Do not contain chlorophyll, that is green pigment, and depends on other plants for their food through the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Through the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, which means they require some external substance, or they need some kind of external factors to get their requirements of nutrition basically, and these type of nutrition in plants are referred to as heterotrophic nutrition in plants, and hence are called parasites. These kind of plants are called as parasites. Understood? Now, heterotrophic plants, and so there are different kind of heterotrophic plants. One is parasitic, one is insectivorous, one is saprophytic, and fourth one is symbiotic. These are types of heterotrophic plants. These are types of heterotrophic plants, and that are mainly classified based on their mode of nutrition, which means how they are using their external factors, whatever they are, which factors providing the nutrition to these kind of plants. So on their mode of nutrition, basically we have classified into four parts or four categories, that is parasitic, insectivorous, saprophytic, and symbiotic. symbiotic. Now we will discuss about parasitic nutrition. So what is parasitic nutrition? Some heterotrophic plants depend on other plants and animals for nutrition. Such plants are known as parasitic plants. Such plants are known as parasitic plants. However, the host is not benefited from the parasite. For example, what are the example of parasitic nutrition plants? Basically, Cascata and Cassitha. These are the examples of those plants. Basically, in which mode of nutrition is parasitic nutrition. Okay, parasitic type of heterotrophic plants. Okay, and here you can see in the figure. Here you can see in the figure. This is the plant. Okay, like in the spiral form. Like in the spiral form. Here in the figure you can see in spiral form. These are parasites. These are parasites or plants which are getting their nutrition from the main plant, okay, from the host, from their host, but host is not getting any kind of benefit from these parasites basically. Okay, so this is a parasitic mode of nutrition, parasitic mode of nutrition, and which is present in Cascata and Cassita. Now insectivorous nutrition, insectivorous mode of nutrition. So some plants have special structural features that help them to trap insects, okay, and are commonly known as carnivorous plants or heterotrophic plants. These plants digest the insects by secreting digestive juice or digestive enzymes and absorb the nutrients from them. Basically what they do, like pitcher plants or Venus flytrap, what these plants do basically, uh, they trap the insects, and now after the trapping they secretes some digestive enzymes or digestive juices, and with the help of those digestive juice and enzymes, basically process of decay happens there. Okay, process of decay, which means the insect starts decaying, and now when the insects decayed, then what these plants do, they absorb the nutrients from those insects and helps basically help themselves to grow and basically to live, okay, and to live or to survive. And these plants grow on soil that lack minerals, okay. Obviously if in the soil minerals are not present, then obviously those plants like autotrophic plants, they will not grow because in the soil there is no minerals, okay, and minerals is a very essential nutrition or a nutrient for the plants, okay. And so in that places where soil lacks minerals, basically insectivorous plant grows, okay, like pitcher plants or Venus flytrap. Now here you can see this is basically example of some insectivorous plants. Here you can see this is a fly, okay, and this is a plant. Now fly is here. Soon what this plant will do, it will close is covering, okay, whatever it is, okay, this is some pouch, okay, some pouch it is, and it will close its a pouch, like now here fly is sitting. Now soon it will close its pouch, and the fly will uh, trap there, okay, and further this plant will absorb the nutrients from this fly, and it will fulfill his requirements, okay. So basically this is the example of Venus flytrap, okay, this is the plant Venus flytrap and pitcher plants. These are insectivorous plants, so that's why they are categorized under insectivorous modes of nutrition plants or heterotrophic plants. Clear? Now saprophytic nutrition. So saprophytic plants derive nutrition from dead and decaying plants and animals. Okay, very very important. Saprophytic plants derive nutrition from dead and decaying plants and animals. They dissolve the dead and decaying matter by secreting digestive juice again and absorbs the nutrients, like mushroom and molds. Here you can see this is a mushroom. Mushroom grows basically on dead and decaying plants and animals, okay. By what basically they grows, and they releases or they secretes some digestive enzymes or digestive juices, and absorb the nutrients from that decaying plant or animals and helps them to grow and flourish. Okay, so what are the example of saprophytic plants? That is mushroom and molds, and another one is symbiotic nutrition. Another one is symbiotic nutrition, when two different plants belonging to two different categories shows a close association like fungi and trees. Okay, though these are of two different categories, fungi is also another category, and normal trees, okay, normal big trees are comes in different category, but they show a close association, and then they are termed as symbiotic plants. Okay, and in this both the plants are benefited from each other. In the figure you can say this is a main plant. Okay, this is the main plant, and this is fungi. This is fungi. Okay, and both are associated. There are some requirements of this fungi which this fungi is fulfilling by using the stem of this plant, and similarly this big stem has some requirements which this stem is fulfilling with the help of this fungi. Okay, so both are closely associated and both plants are benefited from each other, and this kind of nutrition is known as symbiotic nutrition, and plants are known as symbiotic heterotrophic plants. Okay, and what are the example? The association of fungi with the trees. The association of fungi with trees. Okay, so in heterotrophic basically there are four types of heterotrophic plants: parasitic plants, Kashkata and Cassia is the example; insectivorous plants, pitcher plant and Venus flytrap; saprophytic nutrition plants, and mushroom and molds are the example; and symbiotic plants, that is fungi, and when fungi is associated with the trees. Clear? No, so this is about the nutrition in plants. Now we will discuss about respiration in plants. So, in respiration, basically, respiration is a chain of chemical reactions that enables all living entities to synthesize energy required to sustain. What is respiration? Basically, it is a chain of chemical reactions. Okay, don't confuse with photosynthesis here. Photosynthesis is a different thing. Okay, and photosynthesis occurs in daylight only, and with that process plants prepare their food, and respiration is a very different thing from photosynthesis, and respiration is as much as important for plants as it is important for us to survive basically. Okay, we breathe all the time, in daytime also and in the night time also. We what we do we basically we breathe oxygen and we release carbon dioxide. In the similar manner, plants also they breathe and they also take oxygen. They also take oxygen and they releases carbon dioxide from their entire body, even from roots also. Here you can see in the figure, in the roots also plant is taking or absorbing oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and this process is called as respiration in plants. Okay, so this is also very very important for plants. But now we will discuss few things later. First try to understand a few more things, like during respiration in different plant parts significantly less exchange of gas takes place, hence each part nourishes and fulfills its own energy requirements. Like for animals and human beings, we have organs. Basically we have organs to uh, basically complete our process of respiration, but plants does not have any specific organs uh, for the respiration process. That's why in plants basically it is a very you can say slow process. It is a very slow process, and with that slow process it is not possible that only leaf or whatever the part of plant you want to take, that is one part cannot fulfill the requirement of all the parts of the plants, that is requirement of oxygen by all the parts of the plants basically. Okay, so whole plant, its stem, its flower, its leaf, and its branches, its root, all of them participates in the process of respiration, and with the help of that, each part nourishes and fulfill its own energy requirements. Clear? So consequently, leaves, stem and roots plants separately exchange gases, that is, they inhale oxygen and they exhale, you can say, a carbon dioxide. And obviously this respiration process occurs 24 hours, uh, 24 into 7, that is all the time, up to whatever the, you can say, whatever the life cycle of this plant. During his life cycle, every second, every point of time, plants breathe same as animals and human beings. Okay, but in daytime the photosynthesis process, so the photosynthesis process is basically, it's a very big process. Okay, and a large amount of oxygen the plants releases in the daylight. Okay, and so somewhere photosynthesis process covers this respiration process. So we always says that plants don't inhale oxygen in the daylight, they only inhale oxygen in the night, and they releases carbon dioxide in the night. But no, this is not true. Plants basically they absorbs oxygen in the daylight also, but the amount of oxygen they are absorbing in the daylight, na, that amount is very 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 less in comparison to the amount which they are releasing. That is amount of oxygen which they are releasing in the atmosphere by the help of process of photosynthesis. Okay, so both photosynthesis and respiration is a different thing, and respiration occurs 24 into 7 in plants. Understood? Now we will discuss about few more things, like respiration in roots or respiration with the help of roots. Respiration with the help of roots. Clear? So roots, the underground part of the plants, absorb air from the air gaps or spaces found between the soil. See here, this is what, this is a root, this is the root of the plant, and soil is there. So uh, in between the soil and the roots, there are gaps, and in that gaps air is trapped, or air is there, air and water is there in those gaps. So from that air which is present in these gaps, these root hair of the plant root absorbs oxygen, okay, and releases carbon dioxide in the atmosphere or in the soil. Clear? So roots, the underground part of the plants, absorb air from air gaps found between the soil particles. Hence, absorbed oxygen through roots is utilized to liberate the energy that in the future is used to transport salts and minerals from the soil. Okay, basically to complete their process of respiration or whatever it is. Now we know that this is very important point, just a general point, I wrote it down here. Okay, so that you can take the screenshot or whatever you want. That we know that whatever I just said in our earlier slide, we know that plants possess a specific ability to synthesize their food through photosynthesis. Okay, plants synthesize their food with the help of photosynthesis process. Now, photosynthesis takes place in only those parts of the plants which have chlorophyll. That is leaf. That is leaf. Okay, leaf have chlorophyll, and stomata is there. Okay, and so in a leaf, photosynthesis process occurs, and the plants prepare their own food. Okay, so photosynthesis takes place in only those parts of the plants which have chlorophyll, the green plant parts. Respiration must not be mistaken from photosynthesis. Respiration occurs all through the day, but the photosynthesis process occurs in the daytime in the presence of sunlight only. Consequently, respiration becomes evident at night time in the plants. Okay, so basically what we think that in only night time respiration occur in plants. No, that is not completely true. Respiration occurs in the daytime also, but the photosynthesis process occurs in a, you can say, very large amount. So this photosynthesis process basically it covers the process of respiration of the plants. Okay, but still there is a respiration in the plant, and this is respiration in roots. Now we will talk about respiration in leaves, and respiration in stem is not so much important, so that's why I haven't taken that. Respiration in leaves. Leaves consist of tiny pores known as stomata. Here you can see these are stomata. This is opened stomata, stoma open and stoma closed. This is stomata, and this is the opened form. And with stoma open, these stomata exchange gases in the atmosphere. Okay, exchange gases in the atmosphere. So leaves consist of tiny pores known as stomata. We all know gaseous exchange occurs through diffusion via stomata. Guard cells. Here you can see these light green is called as guard cell. Guard cell regulate each of the stomata. Each of the stomata. Exchange of gases occurs with the closing and opening of the stoma between inferior of leaves and atmosphere. Inferior of leaves and the atmosphere. So this is stoma open and this is stoma closed, and with this opening and closing of the stoma, exchange of gases takes place, and this is the process of respiration in leaves. This is the process of respiration in leaves of the plants. This is stomata. This is stomata, and this purple color is the nucleus of this stomata. This is small green color are the chloroplast, and this empty part, only minerals are there. Sorry, not empathy, it's empty. This empty part is known as vacuole. This empty part is known as vacuole. Only water and minerals is present in vacuole. Water and minerals are present in vacuole. Okay, this is a fluid filled space. This is a fluid filled space. Fluid filled space in this cell basically, or you can say stomata. Okay, obviously it is a cell. Why it is a cell? Because nucleus is there, and because nucleus is there. Okay, and these are the two stomatas, and this place, this is basically it is a opening. With the help of uh, this opening, exchange of gas takes place in stomata. Understood? Now we will talk about transportation in plants. We have discussed about nutrition in plants. We have discussed about respiration in plants. Okay, with the help of roots and with the help of leaves. Now we will talk about transportation in plants. That is transportation of what? Transportation of water and food in plants. So transportation is the process that involves the movement of water and necessary nutrients to all the parts of the plant for its survival basically. So transportation is a vital process in plants. Trees transport all the nutrients and water it needs for survival from its roots to the tip of the leaves. Basically, root absorbs water and minerals with the help of root hairs in the plant, and with the help of roots, basically trees transport all these nutrients and water to the each and every part of the plants. Okay, to maintain their metabolic process or whatever the process is going on in that plants for the for its survival. Okay, so this is transportation, and now we will discuss few things more about transportation. Plants contain a vast network of conduits. Conduits, what is the meaning of conduits? It means canals. Simple terms, what is the meaning of conduits? It is canals. Okay, canals. And you can say path. You can say path also. Okay, so plant contains a vast network of canals which consist of xylem and phloem. Which consist of xylem and phloem. Basically they are connective tissues. What xylem and phloem are? They are connecting tissues. This is the more like the circulatory system that transport blood throughout the human body. Blood throughout the human body. In our human body, veins are present. Veins are present, and there is a whole uh, big circulatory system is there, which is working like our heart comes in a circulatory system. Okay, and our veins comes in circulatory system. Okay, so in like in our body, there is a huge circulatory system. With the help of that, flow of blood throughout the human flow of blood is taking place in our body. Basically, in the same manner, plants contain a vast network of canals, and these canals, basically these conduits, basically contains xylem and phloem, and with the help of these xylem and phloem, plants can transfer water and food materials in the different parts of the plant. Okay, So now transportation in plants, the water and minerals are transported in plants by two types of conducting tissues. Two types of conducting tissues. One is xylem and another one is phloem. Very, very important. One is xylem and another one is phloem. I hope you are able to understand now. Now we will talk about xylem. Now we will talk about xylem. Okay. So xylem is a long non-living tube. Very, very important. Very, very important. Non-living tube. So xylem is made up of dead cells, or you can say non-living. Don't call it dead cells. That would be not right. You can say non-living tube. You can say non-living tube. Xylem is a long non-living tube running from the root to the leaves through the stem. The water is absorbed by the root hair and undergoes cell to cell movement by osmosis until it reaches the xylem. By the process of osmosis through the root hairs, water reaches to this xylem, and from xylem, xylem is present in all over the plants. So xylem now transports the water to different parts of the plants. Now when water reaches to the xylem, now after that xylem transported that water to all the parts of the plant. Here you can see xylem. This is a xylem. Okay, this is the structure of xylem. Here you can see there is no any kind of end wall is there. So very important, you have to remember, very important, you have to remember one thing, that in xylem no end walls between the cells. This is one cell of xylem, this is another, and this is another cell. Okay, and so there is no any kind of wall present in between the cells here. Okay, and outer cells are not living. Outer cells are not living. One way only, that is water will flow only in one way, like in this direction. If the water is flowing, if the water is flowing, so in only this direction the water will flow. There is no any returning direction, or no any backward direction is there in xylem only. Okay, so one way only. Very, very important. This 4 points you have to remember. Water and minerals are transported by xylem. No end walls between cells, no way, one way only, and outer cells are not living. So xylem is especially accountable for transporting water to all plant parts, and this is the point from where you will get question. Okay, xylem helps in what? In transportation of water to all plant parts from the roots. Since they serve such an important function, a single tree would have a lot of xylem tissues. Obviously there are lot of uh, tissues are there. Okay, lot of xylem tissues are there. Similarly phloem. Now phloem is responsible for translocation of nutrients and sugar like carbohydrates produced by the leaves, uh, by the process of photosynthesis. So basically, by the process of photosynthesis, plants produce their food materials. What is the food material for plants? It is sugar, like carbohydrates, sugar like glucose and fructose, like glucose and fructose. These are what? These are the, sorry, glucose and yeah, fructose. Glucose and fructose, these are sugar substances or carbohydrates, which is nothing but uh, food material for the plants. Okay, so phloem is responsible for translocation or transportation of these food materials in different areas of the plant. Okay, and it is made up of living cell. Very, very important. Plant cell are made up of living cell. They can ask you in the exam, which one of the following is made up of living cell, phloem or xylem? Okay, so it is made up of living cells. Phloem is made up of living cells. The cell wall of these cells form small holes at the end of the cell, and it is known as sieve plate or sieve cell. Very, very important. Very, very important. Let me explain you. Let me explain you. Sieve cells. Sieve cells. Here you can see this is the figure of phloem. Okay, and this is one cell, and this is the second cell of phloem, and this is the third cell. And in between each cell, this basically this wall is known as sieve plates or sieve cells. Sieve plates and sieve cells. With the help of these cells, essential nutrients can, you can say, can go and can come back in their original path basically. Okay, so it is a two-way movement basically. You can, let's say, some food materials are going in up direction also, so some food materials are going in downwards direction also. Okay, and this kind of transportation helps with the help of sieve plates between each phloem, and similarly with the help of these sieve cells they can transmit signals also between the phloem cells they can easily transmit signals with the help of these sieve cells. Okay, so this is very very important. Oh, end walls is there in phloem. Cells are living but need support. Okay, and two-way movement is present in phloem. Okay, two, both up and down, both way movement is present in phloem, and in xylem only one way movement is there, and they transport organic molecules or organic substances or the food materials of the plants. Okay, so basically xylem and phloem are the responsible for the transportation in plants. Okay, and what is the meaning of transportation here? That is transportation of water and food, which is obviously very essential substance for the plants to survive. Okay, and so here your class ends today, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this class, and I have tried my best to explain each and everything in a very lucid manner, and I have typed everything in the slides also so that you can note it down just by pausing, or you can take the screenshot of these things also. Okay, so have a nice day, guys. We will meet in our next class. So take care, bye bye, and keep doing your studies and make your notes properly. So thanks a lot, guys. Have a nice day, take care, and bye bye.